Hey, phony homies. It's time for episode one of season five of the Fake Football Guys show. On today's episode, we rank quarterbacks and tight ends and so much more. Are you ready? Let's go. Hello and welcome to another fantastic episode of the Fake Football Guys show. My name is Giancarlo Campos, and alongside me is my co-host, Dustin DL Lingelman. What's up, DL? DL? What's going on with you, man? Where you at? We a little rusty?
I don't know what
Yeah.
happened. My internet took a shit. But hey man, how's it going?
What's
time
going
no
on,
see.
man? It's been a while. Whole off season, and we're back. I think we're going into week 2 of training camp. How you liking it?
Yeah.
How you feeling?
So far I'm liking it a lot. There's a lot of hubbub with the Bears training camp, right? There's been that video that's been going around with Caleb Williams where he's doing that quick drill and he misses all the things and they're like, oh, he sucks. And I just want to say chill out. It's so crazy. The Bears finally, you get the quarterback who's like, oh, should we move on from him? What? This is year 2. We get, and they're like, oh, we need the coach. And it's like, oh, should we move on from the coach? Because I don't know. He's not starting Caleb Williams in the first preseason game. Is he really the guy? And it's what I think it is national news gets really bored. And even Chicago, I would say, gets super bored with the cycle. So they got to bring up stuff. So other than that, I'm really excited because, yeah, this upcoming game, we're going to see them. We're going to see the number ones. Bueller.
Well, DL. As a reminder, you can follow the show on Twitter. DL, where
at tweet FFG.
And ask us questions using the hashtag
Ask Us FFG.
You can also email your questions at
askusffg@gmail.com.
Or leave your fantasy emails at
JC's personal number at 708-655-4508.
Sorry.
Don't worry about the data charges.
Messages. Yeah. Text.
It doesn't matter. Hey, I know what happened with our intro. You know what it was? Because we had the shared screen and the production going. There was too much on the bandwidth. So that's okay though, because we're doing rankings.
We're running here. We're running. We're trying to get it humming. We're trying to get it humming.
Out loud.
That's all good. Anyway, DL, please be sure to like, share, subscribe, and
smash
that notification button. That way you know when we go live. We're on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and anywhere you listen to your podcasts. DL, we got a jam-packed show again. We're going to go over our rankings, and we're going to do quarterbacks and tight ends. Now, I know you alluded to it, and I apologize for not responding to it earlier, a little bit about the Bears and what's going on in training camp. I have a lot of takes, and I know it's not a Bears podcast. We are a fantasy football podcast, but we are Bears fans. So I do want to give you my 2 cents on what's happening. First and foremost, I'm very happy that Ben Johnson is the Bears head coach. I think the guy is, I don't want to be too much here and say he's a genius. So what I'll say is he's probably the best play caller on offense the Bears have had since Mike Martz. And I know Mike Martz gets a lot of shit for how things ended and what he tried doing with the team. But Mike Martz ran a good offense. It was all timing based, and he made guys like Kurt Warner, who were bag boys in grocery stores, Hall of Fame quarterbacks. So I think Johnson's going to be good. I think there's going to be ups and downs, but I think the beauty of what Ben Johnson is he's going to be able to adjust. And I think that's very, very important for the Bears. The fact that he can do that, he's going to tailor the offense as the season goes on for whatever quarterback's playing. And if I'm being honest, don't be surprised if we see a little bit of Chase Keenum later in the season. DL, your thoughts?
My thoughts are this, is that finally Bears fans, I know we're all kind of a little bit, shell shocked, if you will, right? We're all kind of oh man, here we go again. we got the offense guru, and like, all of a sudden you're thinking Nagy days, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, like Caleb Williams isn't doing well, and like what's going on? Like maybe it's not him, but like here's the thing, like what I love about Ben Johnson, he's like, yeah, we're gonna throw everything we got at Caleb, and we're gonna see what he like responds to, what he's
sticks.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, what sticks, what he's good at, what
Mhm.
he's not good at, and then we're gonna improve over the year, right? Um, I think it's funny that people push the panic alarm because he didn't start. Caleb Williams or the starters didn't go in the first preseason game. Here's a little secret, guys. Like, we want to keep him healthy. We don't want him to get too banged up. And I know we're all clamoring, we're like chomping at the bit for football, but hey, let's make sure that our ones are ready to go and are good to go, right? So I am excited for them to go up against the Bills. For preseason, I know like there's a lot of foes. Like not my stepmom, my mother-in-law. She doesn't watch preseason because she's like, oh, it's pointless, blah, blah, blah. I get excited about preseason because then you get to see like what the depth is. You get to kind of like just watch the guys just be free where it's not like crucial games and see what they're doing. But what are your takes on like preseasons? Do you watch like every game or do you just watch like the starters and then turn it off? Like, what's your
If
thing?
I'm being honest, I primarily watch just the Bears, and then I watch the players that I like. So I'll watch Josh Allen. I'll watch a little bit of Jaden Daniels, Joe Burrow, my favorite quarterback in the league. I'll watch a little bit of those guys. That's who I'll try to watch. It's interesting what the Bears have done, where they didn't start Caleb. I know Colin Cowherd has made a lot of
Dude,
noise
I'm
about
sick
him.
of him. Oh my
Dude,
god,
and the
dude.
crazy thing is, he was
Gee.
absolutely on Caleb's side. It looks like he had a relationship with Caleb, and I don't know what happened. I think they soured when Caleb came out and said that what was it, last season, that he wanted to be a Bears guy, he wanted to be drafted by the Bears. And he was kind of going against what Colin was saying. I think Colin had it on good authority what he was saying. I don't think he's one of those guys that just goes and reports loosey goosey, but I do think I kind of having a little stance though. Just for now, I'm sure Colin will get back in there with Caleb. He's kind of the national guy, and Caleb's a fan. But what I'll say is, yeah, man, he needs to play the whole half this next game, and
the whole half.
depending on how
I
he
don't
does,
think he plays the half,
we need
bro.
to see what's going on left tackle.
I think he plays.
I think he has to play
7
at least
plays.
20 plays. Then 20. He's got to do.
I think he
at
gets
least
a
2
series.
drives. If he doesn't get 20 plays, 3. More than that.
What do you guys? What do the phony homies think? Like, guys, if you're in the chat, hit us up. What do you think? Do you think Caleb Williams is gonna go a half, which would be kind of crazy because usually they say that towards the end of preseason, or do you think he just does like a series, which would be like he gets the ball, tries to get it down to the end zone. If he doesn't, then they pull him off. So let us know in the chat. What do you think? But I honestly think I think they're going to be cautious with him, bro. I think they're going to be like he gets a series, depending on. I mean, this is all new territory, so I don't know what Ben Johnson does. I don't know if he's conservative or he's just like, all right, you got 7 plays, make it happen, or if he's like, you get this one series to score. If you don't score, then we're pulling you. So it should be interesting. Either way, Bears football is back. There's a buzz around the city, which I like. I think every year there's a buzz because we have our hopes like way up here because nothing just happened. We're not seeing anyone yet. Yeah. It's preseason, so it's fun. So yeah, I'm obviously I'm excited. I think we got our quarterback. I think we got our head coach. The defense, here's a thing that really hasn't had a lot. I mean, it's got a little bit of spotlight, but the defense is looking good, which isn't surprising because, I think every football team, the defense kind of catches on to like the playbook and the schemes a lot faster for whatever reason than offense. Maybe there's not as many moving parts and nuances, but the Bears defense, man, like there was stuff coming out of like last week where they were like destroying Miami in practices, and we kind of saw a little bit of that in the first preseason game. And it's not like they dominated them or sacking people, but I'm excited. Dennis Allen, I think, was a great hire as well.
Yeah, I'm 100% with you. A lot of the players that are being interviewed on the podium, I'm a sicko, so I watch like a lot of the podium interviews the Bears put out. Either I listen to them on the radio or watch them on YouTube. A lot of them are talking about Dennis Allen glowingly and talking about how he keeps a very hybrid defense. How there's a lot of blitzing. Now, last year, Eberflus, good defensive play caller in his own right, he only blitzes 10% of the time statistically, whereas now with Dennis Allen, he's known to blitz 25% of the time. So you're going to see a lot of exotic looks, a lot of DBs, probably I'm going to think quarters looks where you're going to get a nickel, blitzing, or you'll get a fourth linebacker, I think is what will happen. But I definitely think that it's going to be an aggressive defense and one that'll give the offense tons of opportunities to try to score, and that's where Caleb Williams has to capitalize. DL.
Yeah. Also, real quick, I'm going to jump into the news, but here's a little news already. Looks like Kyle Gordon, or am I saying that? Kyle Gordon? Yeah. Mm-hmm. And Jauan Jennings are going to be good to go for week 1. So they're getting them back against the Minnesota Vikings, who just lost one of their wide receivers because he got a DUI and he was stupid. So he'll be out the first 3 weeks. So, and Justin Jefferson has been dealing with a hammy. They said he's going to be good to go for week 1. However, we shall see. So week 1's kind of shaping up to be in the Bears' favor, I think, but time will tell.
Absolutely.
All right. Drop into the news. News for the show, guys. Hey, brand new season, 5 years running. Dude, it's been 5 years we've been doing this. Crazy.
It's crazy how fast time is flying.
I feel like it was only yesterday that this happened. But some updates for you phony homies. This season is a little bit different. We're turning up the heat. Not only are we going to keep you ahead of the competition with our weekly waivers, wire breakdowns, but we're doubling the action with a second show dedicated solely for rankings and sit starts. So me and JC talked about this and we want to dive in. Obviously we want to make sure that you guys are ready to go because it's one thing to get the waivers, but it's a whole nother thing to know who to sit and start, especially when you have those, double flex spots or, matchups and things like that. So we're going to bring you that content. We're going to have it for you ready to go, and on top of that we're gonna have like little shorts, so if you can't watch the whole episode, we'll have those little short videos that like get you prepared, and we're not going to be annoying where we tease the number 1 ranking or the number 1 start. I hate that.
Not give it to you.
Yeah. No, TikTok is famous for that. They're like, here's the last guy you should draft. By the way, follow me on Instagram and then it cuts out. You son of a gun. Anywho, so that's the news for our show. Rounding it off the NFL news, this is pretty important. Jon Gruden is actually in a lawsuit with the NFL. So Gruden is heading to open court for his legal battle against the NFL over the leak offensive emails. So if you guys don't remember, Jon Gruden had some choice words and some not so PC comments, and that's what ousted him in the NFL. However, he's actually going to go to the Supreme Court to challenge this. Gruden hopes the public trial will help prevent similar indications in the future. So he's not doing it for himself, guys. He's doing it for you. Yeah, right. Just trying to get back in there. As I mentioned earlier, the starters for the Bears, they're going to all be going in season 2. So if you were kind of disappointed that you didn't get to see like some of the great famous names that you normally hear, you're going to see that this time around. Little side note for fantasy news, George Kittle impresses in camp. All-Pro tight end George Kittle continues to shine in training camp, hauling in several deep touchdown catches and showcasing no signs of decline even after earning a major 4-year extension. So what does this mean? If you've been paying attention to the 49ers, like their passing game is a little bit rough right now, right? So I'm really excited about George Kittle because pretty much the offense, in my opinion, is going to be George Kittle and Christian McCaffrey as long as he stays healthy. So we know how that goes. Some other fun news. Odell Beckham denies fake retirement rumor. He's currently a free agent. He was responding to a retirement claim that filmed him denying humor and a reminder not to believe everything that's out there. So basically what he's saying is like something came out on probably TikTok saying he's like retiring. Not sure he's a free agent. He's looking to sign somewhere, somebody. So just wait and see. He'll probably get on the Super Bowl team again, so he can get another ring where he did absolutely nothing. Matthew Stafford. This is kind of interesting. Matthew Stafford is still sidelined with a back injury. The Rams reported no new updates on Matthew Stafford's lingering back issue. Not good, guys. Not good at all. Because, if you're a quarterback, you kind of want that rotation, right? You don't want anything like, oh, my back. I'm in my 40s, so I understand that because if you sleep long, your back hurts. So
it's ridiculous.
It's okay. It's okay, man. By the way, JC, you're not muted.
Sorry, dude.
So he continues to miss practice, leaving week 1 for his availability kind of like up in the air. So who knows? So that's the news and the notes. So every week as we get closer, we'll probably be a little bit more cautious with the injury notes. This week, I didn't want to get too heavy into it because it's kind of like, oh, this guy's got a hammy. This guy's okay. Nothing too serious. But as we get closer to week 1, we're going to deliver the injury news a little bit more. Unfortunately, the doc retired, so he's no longer a part of the show. Wow.
Really sad. Really sad about that.
Wow, dude. Really?
Okay. What? I laughed. I'm sorry. It's sad that he's gone.
You know what?
I would love to have a send-off for him.
Just didn't like him. That's okay.
That'd be great. Saying.
All right, man. Let's see. Do we have any like cool transitions? Let's see if we can do. What's this one? Waiver, injury. No, not that one. I do have. Okay, you want to do one for the rankings? JC's rankings.
The beat was gonna drop, you jerk. It was about to drop.
Whatever, bro. Whatever.
Unreal.
This is our this is my production play around show. Okay. Anyways, here's JC rankings. What are we looking at, man? We're gonna start off with QBs.
That's right. I forgot you were driving, but I was really driving. Anyway, so we're gonna go ahead and get started with the rankings. We'll get started with my QB rankings, DL. I'm sure they are much different than yours, but I do want to let you know where I stand. I have my consensus number 1 quarterback.
No. Let's go. You know what? Let's go backwards, right? Because you told me this morning that there's 12 teams and all this, and we needed 25 quarterbacks, and because you need the backups. So start off with number 30, Russell Wilson. Okay.
Yeah. My guy, my boy, unfortunately, Sierra's lover, Russell fucking Wilson. He still got a decent deep ball. I was watching a little bit of the highlights for the Giants training camp. Guy can still throw it. I expect Malik Neighbors to be, a big guy. No, he can still throw a deep ball. He probably can't do those intermediate throws like he used to in the past. The real issue with him is he can't move in the pocket like the way he used to, and that's what's affecting him. But I have Russell Wilson at 30. Aaron Rodgers, yeah.
Hold on. Let's talk about that though, right? So with your rankings, how much are you weighing on mobility? Are you looking for them to get those rushing yards?
Enough where I have him as the second worst quarterback in all of fantasy.
Okay.
He's the 30th. All right. With that said, I have Aaron Rodgers right next to him, sniffing his butt, being awful. I just think he's washed. Unfortunately, I have Sam Darnold from a fantasy perspective. What was he coming out of a top 15 fantasy football season? I have Sam Darnold falling down all the way to the nether region here at the 28th ranked quarterback deal, and that's just because he's a Seattle quarterback now. That's the real reason for me.
He did rush for 212 yards. He got 1 rushing TD.
Yeah, and I just don't think
his average points per season was 22.5.
Yeah, I just don't think he has any value unless you're in a 2 QB league. With that said, I have Geno down. They made a little switch. Geno is on Las Vegas. I have him ranked at 27, followed by Matt Stafford at 26. I might regret this. There's a chance I might regret it. Matt Stafford has made me look bad before many times. The guy still gets it done somehow, some way. With that said, I followed that up by having Cam Ward, who I am very excited about. Would not be surprised if somehow he finds a way to break the top 20, especially with a lot of the training camp reports on how well he has looked. I do have Cam Ward at 25, followed by Bryce Young coming off a surprisingly good season last year. And then Michael Penix, a name that I am very, very high on, and you'll see why, considering one of my favorite tight ends is the beneficiary of his passes. I have Anthony Richardson at 22. Probably another guy that I think could definitely outperform my ranking here.
All right,
the guy just has a crazy high
ceiling. Gotta interrupt you. Anthony Richardson had an issue with his finger. He messed it up.
Yeah, I think he dislocated it. Yeah, he dislocated the finger.
So you think he's going to be good to go? You think he's going to overtake it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
A lot of the reason why he's a high ceiling kind of guy and a guy that you would draft and hope and see, wait and see, give him 2-3 weeks, see what he does, how he's looking. The biggest reason is because he can run. And when he gets in that red zone, he'll be reminiscent of those old, those old Panthers, kind of rushing quarterback kind of things. DL, help me out here. Cam Newton is who I'm looking for. He has a lot of Cam Newton in him. Yeah, that's right. He has a lot of Cam Newton in him, and I definitely think that if the passings are going, if he's got that rolling, I think what he can do in the end zone, a few quarterbacks can. I think he could definitely be top 1 or 2 rushing quarterbacks in a season. I follow that up with Tua Tagovailoa. After that, I think with Tua is great floor, but not a high ceiling, unfortunately. We're going to keep going. I have C.J. Stroud here at number 20. It's a guy who I am very, very excited about. However, I don't think he's set up to be as great as some of these other guys coming up. I follow that up with C.J. Stroud and DL. I will let you interject. What do you think about those first 10 guys that you saw?
I think really what we have to talk about is when you're drafting your league, right? Let's bring it back to the draft, right? Where do you find the value, right? So most of the value you're going to find in obviously wide receivers, running backs, right? So when it comes to quarterbacks and tight ends, it really depends on how dependent. To me, they're like the sprinkles or the cherry on top, right? So when I'm drafting a quarterback, I want somebody who can give me an extra 15 points or something of that nature. These guys that you're listing right now, I feel would be a really good backup and or matchup dependent, right? So if they're going against, which we don't know, it's kind of crazy because everything's based on 2024. If you're a football fan, if you're a fantasy fan, things change so fast in the NFL. The Denver Broncos defense is now really, really good. Miami's defense had a really great secondary. You couldn't throw on them. Now they're depleted. It's kind of scary. So with these guys, what I would say is be cautionary. These are backup quarterbacks, streamers, if you will. I wouldn't necessarily go after these guys and think you're finding a diamond in the rough.
Okay. Completely understand, DL. Continuing on, we have J.J. McCarthy, followed by Caleb Williams at 18. Do I think Caleb Williams can outperform that? Yes. Am I betting my check on it? No. I followed that up with Justin Herbert, who I think I'm criminally low on. DL, I'm not sure where you stand on Herbert, but it'd be an interesting guy to go over. Definitely because I think he is better than Trevor Lawrence.
I'm trying. Okay, where do I have? See, I have Herbert really high. I have him at number 7.
Okay.
Just because it's simple. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, call me crazy. I'll get to where my top 10, and then we can have
our go ahead.
Yeah. I follow that up with Trevor Lawrence and Jordan Love at 15. I might be a little low on Jordan, but I have some guys a little bit better for fantasy purposes. Something to look out for in regards to Love. Jaden Reed has been seen in a walking boot. I definitely think that could affect a little bit of his value. Continuing on, I have Jared Goff at 14, followed by Brock Purdy at 13. And then we get into our top 12. Okay, I have Drake May of the New England Patriots at 12. I just love his rushing ability, and I think he can definitely get some extra points on the ground. And that's one of the differentiating factors between him and a guy like Caleb Williams, a guy like J.J. McCarthy, just to put it out there. At number 11, I have Kyler Murray, a guy who's been in the top 10 in and out for the past few years, Following that up with a
hold
favorite.
on. You're moving really fast. Let's talk about Kyler Murray, right?
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
last year, I mean, he had some up and downs. Like he'd go really. The thing about Kyler Murray that like freaks me out a little bit is that he's not consistent, right? The one thing I like about Kyler is like he's a scrambler, right? He's going to get you those rushing yards, especially in PPR. He may even run it in. However, that's another thing to kind of keep in mind too is like how has the offense changed? And Arizona has changed quite a bit. They've really gone run heavy lately. So I'm a little bit nervous about him. So I do agree with the rankings. I have him a little bit higher. I have him at number 8 for myself just because of the fact that he's got the legs. He does have those explosive deep balls. However, he's inconsistent. Last year, I thought he was going to be the guy because they got Marvin Harrison. I thought Trey McBride. I thought, here we go. He's got his weapons and all that. And then all of a sudden, they'd get downfield and then they would just give the ball to James Conner and he would get the tutty, right? Mm-hmm. So I have a little bit ranked higher, but that's one thing to keep in mind, phony homies, is that like look at like how the offense has changed. Pay attention to the offensive coordinator, what they're saying. I believe they just added a new back as well too, JC. Am I correct?
You are correct. Trayvon Henderson.
Yeah, Trayvon Henderson.
And James look really good.
James Conner came out and said that like both him and the running back, thank you, Trayvon Henderson. It's gonna be a long year. Are RB1s, right? So what does that mean, phony homies? That means vulture touches. So I could definitely see Kyler Murray like bombing it down there, getting close to the goal line, and then just letting his running backs do the rest of the work. So, All right, continue.
Absolutely, deal. A lot to share here. I have Dak Prescott, old reliable at number 10, and then my guy, Justin, I can run a lot Fields. I'm not sure if you got a chance to see him this past week in the preseason, but he ran in a touchdown, just like we think he can do. I think once the play breaks down,
that didn't seem for the quarterback. Yep, he sure did run in on him. However, like Dak Prescott, the only thing I would say about that, his first like 2 or 3 weeks are hell. Yeah. Absolutely hell. His first game in week 1 is against the Philadelphia Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
Then he goes against, oh man, this is all memory, guys. My bad. He's got a bad first week. Anyways, he's going against the Philadelphia Eagles. I think he goes against Detroit, and then he has the Bears. So,
I like the defenses to start.
So, all I'm saying, I like Dak, man, because like he always looks like amazing, right? But I think this year is going to be okay. I'm sorry. He goes against the Eagles, the Cowboys, then the Bears, then the Green Bay Packers. So that could be a really sneaky guy to like stash, right? Maybe you get like one of the top tier quarterbacks, which we're going to cover as soon as JC scrolls up. And then this could be your backup, right? Because after that first month, I think Dak is going to be Dak and like start carving people up.
Okay. I like that. I like that stance. Continuing on, I have Bo Nix at number 8. He had a great fantasy football season last year, and I think he's going to build on that. I think Sean Payton is going to know exactly how to use him and how to put him in position to be successful. That and the fact that he has good legs, I think the guy could easily rush for a few hundred yards. I think is easy to say he could be a top 10 quarterback. I followed that up with Baker Mayfield, steady as it can be. Baker Mayfield's got a really good array of wide receivers going into the season, a good running game, and overall, I just think Baker Mayfield has a high floor and a solid ceiling. Deal?
Here's what I'll say about Baker Mayfield. Last season, he ran for 378 yards rushing.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to let that sit in just a little bit. However, he's not like a known quarterback to like do a lot of that. Like he's not like one of those. He's not like a Justin Fields. He's not like I don't want to say Caleb Williams because like I don't feel like Caleb Williams like relies on his legs as much. So he's not like a Kyler Murray or even a Lamar Jackson.
He was tough,
but if he gets even like I don't know, like 10% of that, like Baker Laser Mayfield, maybe your guy.
Baker, Laser, Mayfield. Going on, just above Baker, I have Patrick Mahomes. Interesting how the mighty have fallen. The reason is he just had a horrible season last year. Call it part of the Rashid Rice syndrome. Call it um, I guess, the decline of Travis Kelsey. Whatever you want to call it. Maybe you want to call it the Taylor Swift syndrome. I'm not sure. But Pat Mahomes was not a great quarterback last year in fantasy. I don't think he'll be a top 3 quarterback again this year either. With that said, I have Joe Burrow at number 5. Would not be surprised if he finished that number 1 or 2. But I have Burrow at 5, just simply because of the weapons he has his hands on and what he can use. That said, I have Jalen Hurts at number 3. Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts at number 4. Josh Allen at number 3. Jaden Daniels at number 2. And Lamar Jackson at number 1. DL, where are you at on this top 5? Top 6, really.
Top 6. So I do differ a little bit, right? So we agree that Lamar Jackson is him. I think if you can snag him. Now, here's a question before I go through it all. Like, okay, Lamar Jackson, what round are you drafting him? Like, are you going to pull the trigger early? Or are you going to wait until like 3, 4, 5, 6? Or are you just going to wait till he falls?
That's a good question. I think he's proven that he's a guy worthy of a high draft pick. I think running back is the way to go to start the fantasy football scope. I think that's going to be the way to go just because of the scarcity at the position, followed by wide receiver. Thereafter, I think you go running back high, then you load up on wide receivers. You can snag a tight end. And then I think you go quarterback. I think somewhere before you go tight end, I think you go Lamar Jackson. You're asking me what round to take Lamar Jackson in fantasy. I think I would say comfortably maybe the third, late third, early fourth. That's kind of where I'm at.
Okay. So he has that high value, right? So when I was talking about like the cherry on top and everything like that, like one thing you got to keep in mind is that like the third, that's a perfect example, right? Because your first 2 rounds, you're going to go running back and wide receiver and get like the elite guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to like Lamar Jackson, right? This is a game changer, right? This is a guy that can actually get you to the championship round.
He almost had 1,000 rushing yards last year. He had 900.
Yeah, like the guy, especially in PPR formats, like this guy is going to get you points and he's going to be consistent. And that's what we're looking for. He averaged last year about 28.7 points per game. 28 points, right? So like, you know, when you lose like by 0.10 or like that weird like thing, this guy is going to like overshoot it. So I would say if you can grab him early, I wouldn't say, yeah, I think you're right. Like 3rd round is probably the earliest I would go for him. I think even that's a little early. I would kind of wait and see when they go on the QB run. But if you're in like, it all depends on like what pick you have, right?
Yeah.
So maybe you start that QB run. If you can grab Lamar, if you solidified like your 2 top wide receivers, or if we talk about theory, like are you this is going to go sideways real quick, but it depends on how you draft, right? There's hero RB. There's people that don't draft RB at all, and they just go like with wide receivers and what have you. So I would say whatever format that you're going for, if you're going for hero RB and you can grab Lamar Jackson, you're still in the running because basically he's a running back, like just a hybrid running back, basically. I'm not trying to like diss him as a football player because I think he's really good. I think he's really talented. I think he's more than a running back. I think he's got an arm. But that might not be a bad marriage if you get like, I don't know, who's the number 1 running back this year? We'll get to that later on this week. But I think he would be kind of nice to like couple with, right? Like last year, I think a big thing that I've been noticing in fantasy in general is that like you get your quarterback and then you get their number 1 wide receiver, right? So why don't you get a quarterback and get like the best running back and you can go in tandem, right? So,
well, I'll say this: Lamar Jackson led all quarterbacks in fantasy points scored by 49 fantasy points.
Yeah.
So that's an extra week, basically, of maybe 2 weeks of fantasy points. The guy was leaps and bounds better than any other quarterback last year, based on what he did, rushing, passing, in every way, in every single way. I think he warrants that draft selection because he is that much better than the next. And honestly, Another thing he could have done is gotten more rushing touchdowns. I think that's a lucky stat. I think he could have gotten more. So
yeah, and keep in mind too, like the first like month of football in general, like there's still like I mentioned before, like the offense is still trying to gel, right? They're not going to be up to form like the defense. If we're thinking about fantasy, right, you don't want to go 0-3 or 0-4 in your first month, right? So Lamar Jackson, I would say, would be that guy, right? So where we kind of differ a little bit, like for me, yes, I agree. Lamar Jackson is the guy. Go for him. I would go Josh Allen, number 2. You're really
I can let me release the share. There you go.
Okay. Oh, you want me to share?
Yes, please. By the way, we do have some comments here on our Facebook Live page.
Oh,
on mine specifically. First comment is from Ricky.
Show.
Says, "Shut up, Dustin." As one
Who
does.
Said that? Who said
Ricky.
that?
Good old Ricky.
Shut up, Ricky.
There you go, Ricky.
Okay, so story time. I'm in JC's fantasy baseball league, and
which you are doing very well. Can we talk about where you're at?
I was in number 1, and then Timmy knocked me out a little bit. So I'm 1 game back. I'm in second place. But
you've been number 1 all year.
Actually, I was in number 1 for like a good solid month and a half, I want to say. So feeling pretty good. Little side story. I don't do fantasy baseball, so this is the second team I've had, and I'm feeling good. I'm feeling proper. So excited about that. Anyways, shut up, Ricky. And don't put that juju on me. Anyways, so I'm going to go ahead and share mine. I want to do a cool screen as JC did. Okay, man. No, that wasn't it. Here we go. Oh, wow. Can't really see it. My bad, dude. Give me a second. Wow. Okay. Try this. And we'll go to 150. Can you guys see it? This is going great. Okay, quarterbacks. Okay, so this is where we actually kind of differ a little bit. Like for my, do you want me to go back through 25 and go all the way up, or just where we differ?
Yeah,
let's go where we differ.
If you could,
okay.
Please.
All right. So I only went to 21. Right. The main reason is because like I would feel at this point like I don't really feel like it's there. I feel like if you haven't got some of these quarterbacks that are starting at 21, like you should just stream. And that's okay. Like if you want to stream your quarterback, there's nothing wrong with that, but it's going to be a long season because you got to look at matchups, right? And keep in mind that you're also dealing with other people in your league that may be doing the same things, or if one of these guys gets hurt, you may not get the top choice. So the way I look at it is I'm going to start.
All I hear is blah, 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 blah. You have Russell Wilson at 21. I have him at 30. Let's talk about it. At 21, I have Tua.
Yeah.
Okay. Where do you have Tua on your list?
Tua. Okay. Let's see. I didn't even rank Tua, I don't think. Oh, wow. I didn't rank him. So I put Tua like at 22. Because he would be a good guy to scream. The thing about Tua that I feel is the problem with Tua is that he's very injury prone. I think he's 1 concussion away from honestly, just being done for the season.
Yeah,
not high on Tua.
I agree. That's a great point.
Exactly. So I would stay away from Tua. All the guys that I'm going to show you are guys that are okay, cool. You draft him, right? If Tua is on waivers, grab him. If he's in the latest round, if you're going maybe 7th, 8th, 9th round, and he's still kind of hanging around, then grab him. But I wouldn't necessarily in a draft target him. That's why I feel about him.
Okay.
Call me crazy. I don't care. So I have Russell Wilson. I have Aaron Rodgers, who's probably going to be a waiver, if you will. I don't think anyone's going to draft him because they're kind of wait and see because he did really crap the bed with Pittsburgh, right? I think he's a wash, and I know I'm a Bears fan. I know I hate his guts, so it's okay. He sucks. I don't think he is. He probably should have hung it up, but he wanted to get his bag one more time. So go ahead and destroy the Steelers and get Mike Tomlin fired. Cool, man. Way to end on a high note. I got Geno Smith at 19. He's on the Raiders. I do think that like the weapons around him will do well, but I don't think he will do well. If that makes sense. Sam Darnold, I'm at 18.
27 for comparison. Go ahead.
Okay. So I have Sam Darnold at 18.
Which, by the way, these guys are interchangeable. The difference is minimal.
Basically the same.
Huge.
So
difference. Not huge.
Yeah.
As you get to the top 15, then there's a big variance.
Exactly. So like with Sam Darnold, for these both, they switch teams, right? And they're dealing with like a new coordinator. They're dealing with a new like playbook. I think Sam Darnold really benefited from the head coach from the Vikings. I think that's why he looks so good. He's got the talent, but I think it depends. He's a system type quarterback. That's the way I would put it. Bryce Young started looking a little bit brighter, but he's not in my top 10 yet. I don't think he's there yet, but he might be a sneaky stash because like he did well last year. He wasn't bad, right? Justin Fields, once again, third team, different coordinator. He's with the Jets. Yeah, I have high hopes for him. I really want him to do well. That's like the only quarterback that's ever moved on from the Bears where I'm like, we did him dirty. I really hope he does well in the NFL. I hope he has a like phenomenal career, but he still has the same issues that he's had for two different teams.
One read and go.
Yeah. One read and go. Hangs on the ball too long. Not very accurate in pressure situations, I will say. Right?
No, he's not.
Trevor Lawrence, I'm perfectly happy. Top 15, right? Like he was supposed to be a generational talent. They've done everything to help him be a generation. To a certain extent, like he's got the weapons. What is it? Brian Johnson Jr. or Brian Johnson, the wide receiver for Florida. I think it's him. He's got the good running game. But he's been injured as well too. So kind of sucks. And I put Caleb above him because I believe that Caleb's going to have, I want to say a little bit. I'm not going to say like Caleb Williams is going to have like the next coming or a breakout year, but I think he does take the next step, especially with Ben Johnson behind him, right? What I'm looking for Caleb Williams is once again, similar to Justin Fields, like stop hanging on the ball, look for your checkdowns, don't do the hero ball. I think he does that a little too much. So I would say for these guys that I just mentioned, these would be backups, right? Or like low standards. Matthew Stafford, I put at 13 because we just don't know what he's at for week 1, right? I just mentioned that he's dealing with a back injury. Back injuries are, man, you don't know which way they'll go, right? And they're really easy to re-aggravate. I think Matthew Stafford is getting a little long in the tooth as well. He does have the weapons. I think he could solidify, but I wouldn't bet my paycheck on him. Baker Mayfield, as I mentioned before, had 378 rushing yards. He looked Baker laser last year. He looked good.
There's a big difference from what I have. So I don't have Stafford nearly that high. I do want to point that out.
I have Stafford him? Like 25?
26, yeah, pretty damn close. I have Cam Ward higher than him. I have Michael Penix higher than him. I have Tua higher than him. JJ McCarthy, a guy that you didn't mention, who I have much higher, which I don't blame you because there's not a lot of tape on him. I'm pretty high on him. Almost as high as I am on Caleb, but Caleb I have at 18. I have Herbert at 17, which I know I'm criminally low on. Criminally low. But I just don't think he has the kind of weapons that some of these other guys have. So that's why I have him low. Not because I think of his talent that low, but it's just interesting. DL, another guy that we're very, very different on. You and
I will say this. Hold on before you move on. I will say this, like with the rookie quarterbacks, like I was thinking, like when I put together this list, I was mainly thinking about like fantasy and drafting and things of that nature.
Absolutely. Same
I
here.
think with like rookies, like as you can see, like towards the bottom, right, you have sleepers and rotational systems, right? So like a JJ McCarthy might be that guy in that rotational system. Penix might be that guy, and like I'm not saying don't draft those guys, but just don't go crazy and get them in like the 4th or 5th round because you're thinking like, okay, I found the diamond in the rough. You guys are like a Jaden Daniels, right? Like these guys aren't them. I don't see the talent there. Maybe with Penix, maybe, but like still not enough tape on him where I feel comfortable with like grabbing him and being like, all right, this is my guy. He's my set and forget it. I'm going to start him every week. Okay, continue on.
I have Fields at 9.
Yeah, once again, I mentioned this before. Justin Fields is on like, wait a second. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's on his 4th offensive coordinator, right? As we already mentioned before, like he's had issues with still holding the ball, still panicking and just like rushing out. I think defenses are going to adjust to that because they already have seen it. So I would be interested. I'm conservative. I don't think I want him to do well, but I just don't think he's going to have that breakout year with the Jets. Okay, moving on. We talked about Baker. Brock Purdy at number 11, right? I feel like this is a good, like, safe bet with Brock Purdy.
I have him at 13, so I'm right there with you.
Yeah. But the problem with the 49ers, man, like, you just don't know. You got George Kittle and Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
Like, that's their offense. Like, those are the ones that have been, you've seen, that have done well. Yes, they have Ayuk. They have Juwan Jennings, who had a pretty breakout year last year.
Ricky Pearsall.
Yeah.
Well, they're really high on in
shut up, Ricky.
In training camp. I know. You can draft Ricky Pearsall just so you can say shut up, Ricky. By the way, Dustin is in my he's in my home fantasy football league now, which is awesome to get him in there.
I'm actually excited. That's going to be a new challenge.
It's very hard to get in there. Just once you're in there, it's like a lifer kind of thing. Very, very hard, to be honest with you.
Because I'm good at what I do. All right. So we're going to round it up to the top 10. Thanks for hanging in there, phony homies. I'll try to go through these fast because we didn't really differ that much. I have Dak Prescott, Bo Nix, Kyler Murray, which we have already talked about. Justin Herbert. Wow.
Hubert. It's Herbert. Every goddamn time.
Herbert.
Like
I'm going to make a montage. I am going to make a montage. Okay, Justin Herbert. We'll see. I mean, second year with the new coach Gruden, so we'll see. He's not new, but he's new to the Chargers.
Of him behind the curtains, he's like looking at him, like incredibly, like amazed. You see it.
I think actually Herbert, I think is a sneaky grab, bro, because Lad McConkey. So you had it.
Yeah,
you had him. I think they just added another like wide receiver too as well too. I think they're going to start gelling. The only thing that like holds them back is that obviously they like to run the ball quite a bit, but we'll see. Maybe there's a new wrinkle this year. Patrick Mahomes, this is crazy, man. Like now I know I'm getting old because who would have thought that Patrick Mahomes would drop to like 6 or 5, right? He was the go-to. I've seen there was many drafts where I saw someone grab him at number 2 in the second round. Because they're just like, dude, he's lights out. He has regressed. I think Kansas City in general is getting long in the tooth as well, too. They're getting a little bit older, but it's also Kansas City where they can just grab some random ass dude and make them awesome, like time and time again. So I wouldn't like sleep on Patrick Mahomes. I wouldn't just be like, whatever. If you can get him in like, I don't know, like 5th round, 6th round, I think that's not a bad grab. I mean, he's somewhat consistent, and I think he's got a chip on his shoulder because he got embarrassed at the Super Bowl, like embarrassed. So I think he definitely is like, all right, let's go. We're gonna Jaden Daniels. I have at number 5. He did really well last year. I mean, he was like up in the. He finished the year like within this kind of or this ranking, like top 5, top 6. He's right there, which is absolutely amazing. I'm a little bit nervous on how that wide receiver room is going because you got Scary Terry McLaurin, who asked for a trade. Keep in mind, phony homies, that has never happened ever in an NFL where a player asks for a trade and actually gets traded to a different team.
It happened, but it's very hard to do.
It's very hard. It's very like,
yeah.
And I don't see him doing it.
I hope,
I don't see him doing it. All right. So we're going to
talk about single screen for your top 4, please.
Oh, a single screen. You mean remove your ass because you probably have to pee. Okay, so single screen. My top 4 is not that much different from JC or any other rankings you probably have seen. We got Joe Burrow. I mean, obviously he's got the weapons. He still has Chase. He still has Higgins. I think they're going to do a lot better. They're not dealing obviously last year, if you remember, Joe Burrow was dealing with an injury. So I think he's like ready to go. The only thing that I'm kind of concerned about is that O-line. Like, how successful is that O-line going to be? Can they protect him? We shall see. Jalen Hurts is number 3. Like, these guys are like set and forget it. So if you can get these guys somewhat early, once again, I would not go crazy and get them in like the first, second, or even third round. I feel like that's kind of a reach. I would say like tail end of 4th, 5th round. These are the guys that if they pop up and no one's there, go for it. So that would be Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen, and we've already touched on Lamar Jackson. So that's what I said, JC. I don't know if you have a different opinion when it comes to like drafting these types of quarterbacks. Like I said, towards the tail end of the 4th round, 5th round for these top 5.
Okay. Yeah, I think we have like very similar guys here. I think Lamar Jackson far and away 1. I think Josh Allen for you is probably the safer pick. I would venture to guess that most people have Allen at number 2. I have Daniels at 2. And then I have Hurts at 4. Where did you have Hurts?
I had Jalen Hurts at number 3.
Okay. So I mean, our top 5 or 6 are pretty similar.
Yeah, it's not hard.
Yeah, no big differences there. DL, for you, where are you going? What is your strategy at quarterback?
As I mentioned before, throughout this whole segment, it is really just like where they actually.
This guy.
I literally said it like 3 times.
Where do you like quarterback? What guys are you targeting? Is what I'm asking.
I mean, obviously, the top 5. Honestly, last year I had Jalen Hurts and I had AJ Brown. It was like that little tandem, that stack, if you will. It was great. However, like towards the end, like all of a sudden Saquon kind of took away the explosiveness of AJ Brown. So this year, I mean, I don't know, man. It's probably the first year where I'm not really high on anyone particular. I do like Dak Prescott. I think he's going to be good in like the 2nd month, maybe. But yeah, if I had a pick, like 1st round pick, I would probably go back with Jalen Hurts, or Lamar Jackson, which I think is going to be very difficult to grab. Josh Allen scares me, man, because like I don't think he's going to win you the championship. So, and through my eyes with like fantasy, I'm looking like who's going to be the guy who's going to win me a championship. I think Jaden Daniels might be him. If I'm going kind of like low tier, I would say like Dak Prescott, Brock Purdy. Those are very, very like stable guys. If I'm desperate, I would go Baker Mayfield.
I hear you.
That help?
I hear you.
What about you? What are your thoughts?
I never target a quarterback early. I think this might be my first year. I think I'm going to try to get Lamar Jackson. I think I'm going to try to get Jalen Hurts. I think I'm going to try to get one of these top 5 guys. I really never try to do it.
I'm the same way, man. Like, I just like if that name falls to me, like if Lamar Jackson falls to me, yeah, absolutely, I'm going to snag him.
No, for sure.
But that's only if like I feel confident in like my, if I got like the top wide receiver tier, tier
absolutely.
1, right? And I got like maybe top tier 2 running back. I think it just really depends on like what you value more. I will say that like a running back can definitely help you in the beginning, but he's gonna get injured because if he is the guy, they're gonna give him the ball and he's eventually gonna get hurt. So I agree with that. I'm more of like, okay, if he falls to me, cool. But I'm not gonna like, go high on like, my 2nd round pick, like Lamar Jackson. I just don't.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like you're giving up too much value there. So that's right.
I hear you. I think for the next episode we should do auction values as well for the rankings.
Yeah.
For running backs, wide receivers. I think that'd be a good way to go as well.
Story time, because this is going to be my first auction with your like little home league. It's going to be my first auction league. So I'm like really excited because I have no idea what to expect. So
will you be there? Will you grace us with your presence?
Can you do it online?
We're going to be in person. We're going to bring your laptop, but we're going to do it in person.
this is the issue. So here's the issue. Just
go
letting you know right now. I do plan on being live, right? Because I'm like, hey, I'm invited to the league. You know, you want to meet the guys. I want to punch Ricky in the face. No, just kidding. I love you, Ricky. But my uncle's league, remember my 14-man league with my uncles that lasts like 4 hours, like literally starts at noon.
The 31st?
Yeah, the 31st. So
and you have to be there in person for that?
No. It's all online. So I have a backup plan. It's 14-man league. I'll be fine. But I'm just kind of like, okay. I'm not sweating it. But yeah, I'll be there in person. Drink a couple beers.
Yeah, our draft's at 2. So
2:30. That's what Timmy P said. But
just be there at 2. Okay. Thanks.
Said 2:30.
All right.
Anyways,
we have
I'll
a
be
lot
there
of
too.
shows still to go. Okay. We still have not
you want to do tight ends?
Let's jump.
You want to fly through these?
Yeah, I got you. We got 3 minutes before we're off the air? No. Let's go to tight ends. There's a lot to talk about here. I have pretty deep rankings here. I got Jatavion Sanders at 30, but we won't go that far. It's just guys that I have in case.
Why?
Like I'm the tight
I'm
end
just
whisperer.
saying, like pre-production meeting, I was like, 15's a lot or 30's a lot, and yeah, you said no. Anyways, go ahead.
I still have them just in case of deep leagues. They're there. Okay, just guys.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
Darren Waller, a guy that people are going to ask of because he was a top 10 tight end before in the past, top 7 once or twice. You know, once upon a time. I have him at 27. We'll keep going. I don't want to mention Chigoziem Okonkwo because I don't want Dustin to have to say his name. We'll start at 25. I got Mike Gesicki, somehow still in the league, still getting it done. Dude is a beast, and he's in Cincinnati. I got Juwan Johnson, a guy that I like in Indianapolis. A lot of how good he's going to be is dependent on if Anthony Richardson's going to play or not. So we'll see. I have Elijah Arroyo, funny name, Elijah Arroyo in Seattle at 22. Followed by Mason Taylor, believe it or not, in New Jersey. I have him at 21. Neil might be like, who the hell is that? Don't worry about it. I can get it done, okay? At 20, I have Hunter Henry, another guy that I cannot believe is still getting it done in the league. It's kind of strange that he's there, which leads me to the next guy, Brenton Strange at 19. And as we get into the top 15, I follow that up with the uber athletic Jonnu Smith playing in Pittsburgh. I have Kyle Pitts at 17. That's going to be a guy that I try to draft in my top 10 because I always do that. I always fall for it, but I have him at 17. Followed by Zach Ertz.
You can't help yourself. You're a Pitts lover. You're like, you're trying to get another high again, even though you got it once. You're still chasing the dragon.
Yeah, the magic dragon, Puff the magic dragon. I never understood that. I'm guessing it's marijuana. I don't know. And we'll go to 16 and Zach Ertz, 15 Dallas Goedert, and I'd love for Dale to interject from here. What do you think about my top 25?
I could care less about your top 25 because I think the tight end is a wasteland position. I think you're going a little too deep in it. I would go with like a top 10, really. Once again, this actually
there's 12 teams in most leagues, so everyone's going to have a tight end.
Yeah, but then you can just you don't have to draft. My point of here's my argument. This is where we differ. Is that like the tight end position once again is a lone position, right? Like, and it's one of those positions where it's a wasteland. How many times do we say?
Not quite kicker though. It's not quite kicker. Not quite defense.
Not quite there, but like if you want to go that route, go ahead. But I would put more value on running backs, wide receivers, and quarterback. I would put quarterback over tight end. So really, I did a top 10. I added 5 more guys just to appease you. So with your rankings right now, like honestly, like I think these are no-name guys, right? So with my top 15, I got Jonnu Smith, right? I'm not really high on him because I don't think he's going to have a year like he did with Miami. I think his production is going to go down pretty dramatically. Hunter Henry, as you mentioned, he's old as dirt. Dalton Kincaid, maybe, but some last year we saw what happened, right? Like a lot of people drafted him and they were like trying to trade his ass or dropping him like a bad habit. Like your backwards head. Then we have Dallas Goedert, number 12. I have Dallas Goedert at number 12. Looking at your rankings, I am a little bit higher, I want to say, on Zach Ertz. I think actually, never mind. I don't even have him ranked. All right, cool. Dallas Goedert, I felt like had a down year, man. Like he went from like
Before we
top
go into
5.
your rankings, let me give you mine, and then we can share your
Oh,
screen
okay.
your top 15.
Why?
Okay.
Why don't
Just
we
because
just differ?
we can't see yours. We can't see yours right
Who
now.
cares? I'm talking names.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So anyway, the top 15 for me, I have Goddard, Kincaid, Ferguson, Evan Ingram, Mark Andrews. Oh man, how he has fallen. And then I round that out to number 10 at Tucker Kraft. That's the top 15 I have for you. DL, if you could share with us what you have from your top 15.
I guess. I'll share my screen again. This is... No, just kidding. I'm just being sassy. Okay, give me a second. Kill this dead air, JC. Okay, all right. Here we are.
15 to 10, if you could.
Okay, so I want to drop down top 15, right? So as I mentioned before, I was kind of rattling off these names. I have Jonnu Smith. As I mentioned, switch teams. I don't think he's going to have the same production. He was like literally like the secret weapon. He helped me like in so many leagues because I drafted Mark Andrews and he was a bust last year, in my opinion. So this guy he was on the waiver. All of a sudden, I was back in the running. Hunter Henry kind of talked about Dalton Kincaid. Anyways, I'm just going to scroll back up because we talked about this. Tucker Kraft. He plays for the Green Bay Packers, but I think he's a sneaky snake. I think he's going to have a good year this year. Sneaky snake.
Yeah, you have him at 11. I have him at 10. So we both are high on him for sure. The two of us.
Yeah. So Tucker Kraft last year, I just want to throw this in there. His projected like receptions are 55. His yards are actually 652 and touchdowns are 4.8. But as you mentioned, Juwan Jennings is in the boot. The receiving core really isn't there. You have Jordan Love. Like, yes, he has a running back, but obviously if they stack the box, like I think he's going to be one of those guys. And he's shown not only he's kind of surpassed Musgrave, if you will, and I think he's like a little bit tougher. He like stiffed arm a couple guys and he can evade tackles or break tackles. So I'm actually kind of high on him. So if you're kind of like waiting around and like you're not really too high on tight ends and you're just kind of like, this might be a really good guy to like have on it without trying to like figure out the waiver wires. Next, number 10, I'm going to go with Jake Ferguson. David Njoku I have at number 9. I'm a little bit cautious just because of the QB rotation, right? We really don't know who the Browns are going to go with. I mean, obviously, Joe Flacco, I'm hoping. But I feel like he's still somebody that you could probably get like in the 6th or 7th round. And I think it would be a really good like value there just because of the simple fact that even when he was playing with Watson, he was still producing. Evan Ingram, I have at number 8. Man, Evan Ingram, man, he's been around, bro. He's been around, but I still feel like he has some gas in the tank. TJ Hawkinson at number 7. I feel like last year he had a rough year. Like, obviously, he didn't get one touchdown. I don't know if you paid attention to that. You had him on a couple of your teams. TJ Hawkinson, I think, is going to have a bounce back year. I feel like, he's past the injuries. I feel like he's kind of acclimated to the team. I think with JJ McCarthy, especially being a young quarterback, obviously we know that as his security blanket. At number 6, I have Mark Andrews, which I think I put him a little too high. I'm very concerned with Mark Andrews. And here's a thing too with these rankings, right? Like if you look at Mark Andrews and Travis Kelce, like they're literally a touchdown apart. Like it's not like wide receivers where there's like this big gap. They're literally like neck and neck, right? So with Mark Andrews and Travis Kelce, I think they're getting longer in the tooth. Travis Kelce may have a bounce back year, but I think the brand is out doing his production, if you will, like because he's on the Chiefs, blah blah blah. He did say like he's in better shape this year. I don't know if last year was like a Swiftie thing where you got a girl and like put on some pounds, as we all do.
That's what we all do. We all trust me. We all do.
Had it. So this is where it gets kind of shaky with tight ends. I had trouble with this, dude. I'm like literally trying to rank these guys.
My biggest difference in your top 10, I have Bowers with you there. I have McBride there. I have Kittle there. Kittle I'm very high on. I think he's a guy that people should target specifically because Juwan Jennings is going to be out for a while. because Deebo Samuel is gone.
I think
McCaffrey's shaky because we don't know what McCaffrey's health is going to be.
He's going to get injured again.
If for any reason he gets injured, that means that George Kittle becomes the number one target. Absolutely. Like,
not only that, like as I mentioned in the news, he's having a phenomenal camp. So I don't know how much that like actually weighs into things because it's camp. But yeah, I would say the top three, like the tight ends in general, for me personally, like the top three are the guys that like if I can grab, I'm going to snag. But everyone else, I'm kind of like, we'll see, right? Yeah. So I think Brock Bowers in my uncle's league, I was able to keep him at like a low rate. I think he's going to be phenomenal. He actually has a quarterback this year, Geno Smith. I think he's going to like flourish. I think he's going to be great. Yeah, Trey McBride, easy.
I have him right? Easy, gets high targets. Easy.
Yeah.
He's the guy that gets used a
lot. Mean, that's why we started backwards and worked up because I think if anyone watching this, they kind of already know, but
yeah, the variance will be at the end. But I do want. There's a few guys here that I do want to go over with you. I think our top four are exactly the same for the most part. I do have Njoku at 5, believe it or not. I know you thought you were kind of high on him. I have him at 5, just because I think
I'm just worried about the QB, man. Who's throwing him the ball?
Quarterback's going to be. I hope it's Shedeur. I do.
You would, dude. You fucking would. You fucking would. Really? Because he's injured. He's dealing with the injury right now.
That's okay. He's injured.
Bro, no.
Injured.
I'm glad.
Yeah, we'll keep going. I have Travis Kelce at 6. I think when it's all said and done, it might be kind of high, to be honest, but we never know. I have Hockenson at 7. You have him at 7. I don't have Andrews sniffing my top 10, and I'm an Andrews guy. Trust, I'm in a big.
Yeah,
Andrews
I think I went a little too high on him, but I mean, the only reason why I went. Yeah. The only reason why I went high is because if you remember last year, like obviously he was dealing with a lot of injuries, right? Like
100%.
He got nailed with that like the hip tackle, which he bounced back from, and then he's never
been a fast guy. He's never been the highest jumper. Yeah, he's never been the craziest runner. Just steady.
Remember, he also had a leg injury, and then right before camp, he got in a fucking car accident. So I feel like that like really kind of put him back. But yeah, I don't know, man, because the only reason why I put him up there is because the simple fact that towards the end of the year, all of a sudden he was back. He was in the top 10. I'm not going to say top 5, but top 10 for tight end. And like he saved your ass a little bit here and there. Like there was times where I benched his ass and he got like a touchdown. So that's the thing too. Like I don't think he's going to get a lot of yards, but I feel like he's going to get the look at the goal line. But Isaiah Likely, I think, is really going to like hurt his value overall.
Absolutely. 100%. 100%. I have TJ Hockenson at 7, and you have him at 7 as well. I have Tyler Warren, believe it or not, from Indianapolis at number 8.
Ooh, I like that one. I do like that one.
I have him a little higher just because they don't have a ton of guys to get targets there. A lot of that is contingent on how good Anthony Richardson is. Let's be honest.
And who's the other quarterback? There's another one. Didn't they draft a quarterback?
They did they? I don't remember offhand. They think they have Joe Flacco there. Am I wrong? Maybe I'm wrong.
No, Joe Flacco's back in. He's with Cleveland. Okay, well maybe.
Okay. No, you're right. Anthony Richardson and Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones, that's the guy.
Okay. And then at 9, like a good one. I have a guy that you don't have on your list at all. Okay. I think he's more talented than Tyler Warren, but I have Colston Loveland at 9 for the Bears. I think he's a top 10
yeah. Once again, didn't work in the rookies, but I like that pick.
No worries. The reason why I have Warren a little high, the reason why I have Warren a little higher is because the only guys, like, who is he competing against for targets, honestly?
Right.
There's not a lot of competition, whereas Colston Loveland has to compete against DJ Moore, Roma Dunze, Luther Burden now.
Dude, Luther Burden. Have you seen his highlight reels?
Yeah, man. That was good. I'm just letting you know.
Although,
Michael Pittman and Josh Downs are the only guys that Warren's competing against. And those aren't – neither of those guys do I think are better than DJ Moore or Roma Dunze. So
my whole thing is like I think you're right. I think Loveland is that if you want to do that diamond in the rough, if you want to take a flyer and like look like with big balls, I think Loveland might be the guy. I think he's that he has it. The only shaky part is it is the Bears, right? So you don't really know, but I think you're right, man. I think he's gonna like come out in the top I would say the top 5 this year, honestly.
Interesting. Top 5 is high. Top 5 is very high.
All right, top 10. Top 10.
Okay. Yeah.
Try not to drink the Kool-Aid,
I
but
got you.
I feel I'm really high on him. I think he's going to have a good year.
Yeah, and then I round down my top 10 at Tucker Kraft. So
Tucker Kraft, man, I'm telling you, he's so okay, phony homies. This is what we're talking about. Like if you're just like focused on, and people do this all the time, right? You just load up on wide receiver and running backs, right? You're just like, okay, cool. I'm going to shuffle this in. I honestly, Tucker Kraft might be that sneaky guy, like even in like the later rounds, because I don't think a lot of people are high on him. So he
100%.
might be sitting there at like 7th, 8th round, and he's got like good value. Honestly, I would say like right there. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know when you would grab him, but I feel like that would be like if you could load up. I would recommend loading up on wide receivers and running backs as much as you can. If you get like one of the, I don't know, top 10 quarterbacks, then this guy might be like a little sneaky snake.
I would say between rounds 10 and 12 is where I'm at on Kraft.
Wow, even better. Even better. If you got his, you know what? I'm going to file that away. Round 10. Okay, I like it.
Leagues don't count like that. I remember that.
I'm just saying, like, I'm not talking about this league. I'm talking about my other leagues where I'm going to beat the pants off my uncles.
Yeah, most leagues. I hear you. All right, Dio. That's
Great
it.
Show. Super long,
that's it for today's
awesome.
show. That's okay. I think we did 13 minutes of tight ends. Think about that. And then we did like 45 minutes of quarterbacks.
It's like we've done this before.
Almost. That's it for today's episode, Phony Homies. Remember to shoot your fantasy questions to us. DL, they can tweet us where?
At Tweet FFG.
Easy, simple. And DL, always, what is the hashtag that they can use?
Please use this so we can see it right away. Ask us FFG.
Easy. And then you can send your questions if you don't want to use Twitter or the hashtag. You can email us, DL. Where can they send those emails?
AskUsFFG@gmail.com.
Or as always, if you don't want to do any of those things and somehow, some way you want to leave a voicemail and we play it live on air, DL, what is the phone number for the voicemail inbox?
Honestly, I really want voicemails this year. I want like drunken ones. I don't even care if they're real, but make sure you dial that number at 708-655-4508.
Crazy. All right, DL, thanks as always for tuning in, Phony Homies. Thanks to DL for his mediocre fantasy advice. My name is John Carlo, JCJ, whatever you want to call me for short. We'll catch you on another fantastic episode of the Fake Football Guys show. Like, share, subscribe, and
smash
that notification